Okay, hi year seven. Okay, so today is lesson 3. Okay, what I'm gonna tell you guys or say to you guys, okay, if you have run out of time when doing the glossary, which was the first lesson, or going through this why study history lesson, okay, focus on getting those done in this lesson, okay, because it might be that you don't have the resources available to create your own learning map. Okay, so if you don't create your own learning map, don't worry about it. It's more important if you need to catch up on these first two lessons here. But do make sure you carry on watching this video so that if you don't make your own learning map, that you at least can look at this one and understand what we're doing for the rest of the investigating the ancient past topic. Okay, so the whole point of a learning map, okay, is to give you an overview so that you've got an idea of where we're going, basically a map of the learning we're going to do. Okay, so what I've done here now, this is an example of a learning map. Okay, I'm sure if you do your own, that it will be more artistic and beautiful than this. Okay, what I'm just going to do then is kind of talk through the learning map, okay, and these bullet points that are linked to the learning map, just so you've got an idea of what's coming up. So if you look on this learning map, make it a bit bigger for you. What is history? Well, we've already started doing that. Okay, so that's fantastic. That's linked to chronology. Okay, so that will be the next lesson. Okay, so anyway, that comes under how do we learn about the past very broadly. Okay, so we will look at how time is measured. We'll look at chronology, so decades, centuries, an overview of time periods. We'll go back to these BCE and CE that was mentioned in the glossary. Okay, so that's one lesson we'll do. Okay, then we'll move on to looking at archaeologists and historians and how they use sources to investigate the past. Okay, and we'll outline what we can learn about ancient societies from sources, from what's left behind. So we'll look at a dig site. Okay, and we'll talk about what makes a source primary, what makes a source secondary, and good things and problematic things to do with those kind of sources. And we are going to look at how early humans migrated across the globe, just so we've got a very broad understanding of how humans came to spread across the whole planet. So those are the first lessons we'll do. Then we will look at the importance of conserving and preserving ancient sites. So we'll look at ancient sites that have disappeared or are threatened, okay? We'll identify different methods that are used to try and preserve archaeological and historical remains. And we're going to explain the importance of preserving and conserving historical sites. Okay, and we'll look at a site in Australia, Lake Mungo, and we'll look at another site, Pompeii, when we are talking about conserving and preserving. Okay, as you can see down here, okay, on this learning map. Okay, then we're going to look at ancient Australia. Okay, I mean, we will talking about ancient Australia all the way through this. Okay, but we're going to look at a variety of sources for ancient Australia. Um, like animal and human remains and tools, middens, art, stories, and sites related to the dreaming. Okay, so we can start thinking about, well, what did ancient Australia look like? Okay, um, yeah, and we will investigate these sources. All right, so very much linked to that then. Okay, we're basically going to use all of these skills and this practice to look at some historical mysteries. So we are going to examine the Narrabeen Man mystery, okay, which is here. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that anymore, but you are going to show off what skills you've learned and, yeah, try and solve a historical mystery. And at the moment, the assessment task that is set is that you're going to complete your own investigation into an ancient historical mystery. And you can see on this learning map, there's some that you'll be able to choose from, such as Otzi or the Tolland Man. Okay, but we won't worry about the assessment task just yet. We'll see how we go with online learning and things may change slightly. So, like I said, guys, if you want to draw out your own learning map, okay, by all means, look at that one as an example of one, but you might draw it differently. It doesn't need to necessarily follow on in this order, okay? You might make different links, okay, between different things. Or if you think, no, I'm pretty happy, I'd rather spend time going back over the previous two lessons, that's absolutely fine. Whether you do your own learning map or not, what I do want you to have a go at is task 2 on this lesson. So write at least one paragraph explaining your understanding about the upcoming topic of investigating the ancient past. In your paragraph, I put you must use at least 5 glossary terms. Okay, that's quite challenging, but give it a go. So I'm not looking for you to write a teal paragraph. It doesn't have to be perfectly structured, but basically what I want you to do is write a few sentences to show what you think we're going to be learning about, okay? And it also gives you a chance to show off your glossary knowledge as well, okay? Again, that's not something you're going to test, guys. It's a way for me to see how you're tracking, and also for you to reflect on what you have learned so far. All right, guys, so good luck with that. And then next week, or next lesson, sorry, we'll move on to time and chronology. It will be worth going back over the glossary and looking at the key terms. What does chronology mean? What does BCE mean? Just so you've got that relatively clear in your head before that lesson. All right, thanks, guys.